Welcome to the Caribbean Leadership Project's video series on Thought Leadership on Leadership, where we explore issues pertinent to leadership in our beautiful CARICOM region. I am Dr. Lois Parkes, Regional Project Manager with the Caribbean Leadership Project. And we have as our featured guest, Dr. Jeannine Comma. She is the Chief Executive Officer with the Sagicor School of Business and Management. She has led this organization through many iterations over the past 22 years. She is a graduate of the George Washington University as well as the University of the Virgin Islands. She is a specialist in the area of leadership and transformation, and she has worked in this area in our region extensively. So truly, it is a privilege to have her. Welcome and thanks again, Dr. Comma.
Thank you, Dr. Parkes. It is my delight to be with you this morning.
Thank you. First question, what do you think has been your biggest contributor to your success as a regional leader?
I would say that my biggest success that contributed to my being a leader has been my determination, my drive, and I would say my vision of self. The fact that as I left university, I was very clear that I wanted to lead an organization. And I also recognized that in order to do so, I had to ensure that every opportunity I had to be able to build on my own CV, if you will, or build on my own ability to be able to reach a leadership position that was of some significance, that I had to see each opportunity as a significant stepping stone, grab the opportunities and learn from them. So I would say that my vision of myself, of where I wanted to go, the fact that I have very supportive family and friends who have always pushed me, because I've always been an eager beaver, if you will, and they have always pushed me, and I have always stepped out of the box. If I felt that there was something that needed to be done, I would ensure that I mustered the drive and get it done. And so I think a lot of it has been my determination, my drive, and the fact that I had a clear vision, and still do, a clear vision of myself, but at the time, the clear vision of wanting to be a leader of a Caribbean organization.
Fantastic. Share with us one of those watershed moments through your life experiences that you think would have forever redefined how you operated or how you saw yourself as a leader.
Well, in a sense, it's linked to the first response that I gave, that having done an undergraduate degree in business management and then did my master's and doctorate in adult learning and higher education administration, it took me 15 years to get my ideal job. And I, however, saw that all of the other jobs that I had aided me in getting to the pinnacle eventually. So when I was invited, if you will, to apply for this position, I took advantage of the opportunity and I was not at all shy. I grabbed hold of it and I applied. And I realized that I was shortlisted among about 5 other persons from across the globe. And I was the only one from the Caribbean region. And at that time, again, my determination just stepped in. And I said, kind of going along with what Les Brown had said, you know, when I went into the interview, I said, I'm coming into this interview, and I know about this Caribbean region, and I have worked extensively in this Caribbean region. I am of this Caribbean region, and I'm for this Caribbean region. And there's absolutely no one that could come and, in a sense, overshadow me. So I am going to be the person that must get this job. And when I learned about a month later that I had it. I think it was a watershed moment. It was a watershed moment because I really felt I had conquered, but more importantly, the fact that I had been able, after 15 years, to get what I considered to be my dream job.
Yes. So really, you had this watershed moment, but you
Yes.
had many watershed
Moments. That's correct.
built up to this particular watershed moment.
Yes, yes. And I would have even started, I should have said that there wasn't one watershed moment, that there were several watershed moments, but that is one that really stuck out in my life because it changed my life forever.
Yes.
In very many ways, yes.
What advice would you give to your younger self, knowing what you know now about leadership?
Yeah. The advice I would give to my younger self is not to drastically change what I have done, but the first part is to really take your education seriously. And again, I'll go back to say that I have family who always inculcated that education was, in a sense, the passport to success. And I think I did. I took the opportunity, and I was 30 when I got my PhD, which I thought was a major milestone because very many persons get it later on. And I was, in fact, one of the youngest ones in my class at that time when I was doing my doctorate. So the education, I would say, I would tell my younger self, make sure you do it. And yes, if it is challenging to you and you want to do it before 30, yes, go ahead and do it. Additionally, I would say the whole question of the people relationship issues. Taking cognizance of the fact that any leadership role that you engage in, you can't do it alone. That you can only do it if you have a strong team. And you may not get a strong team, but you can build a strong team. And that you can be the force behind developing and building a strong team. And therefore, wanting to influence them to help to realize the vision that you have, not only for yourself, but for whatever you are leading, be it an organization or a team or a specific project, as the case may be. But I would also say to my younger self that to build relationships not only within the sphere of what you are working in, not only in the country that you're working in, but also not only in the Caribbean region, but further afield. I think one of the things that has served me very well is that I know this region very well, extensively, and I have relationships and contacts in every Caribbean country except Cuba. And that is simply because I made an effort to build relationships along the way. And I think that that is extremely important in terms of your leadership journey. And the other point I would suggest to my younger self is identifying mentors. Identifying mentors, not that the organization has suggested that you have mentors, but recognizing that there are areas that you would need improvement in, and there are areas that you would need expansion on. And so therefore you identify your mentors. They may not even know that they are mentoring you. However, you are grabbing every opportunity to interact with them and to take from them what you see as pearls of wisdom and learnings that you could take going forward in your own leadership journey. And then the last thing I would say to my younger self is, don't forget who you are. You are a Caribbean person. You are a Caribbean woman. You are a strong, capable Caribbean woman. And girlfriend, have fun along the journey. Don't forget to have fun along the journey.
Definitely. You have led your organization through many iterations.
Yes.
First, I recall it was the Center for Management Development.
Correct.
Then it transitioned to
Yes.
KV School of Business.
Yes.
It has gone through another transition
Yes.
more recently.
Yes.
What are the lessons you can share with us about leading organizational transformation?
I would say in terms of leading or organization transformation, first of all, the organization that you are leading needs to recognize it's not a panacea, and in its construct is not a panacea to all ends. And so therefore it has to be nimble, it has to be agile, it has to be clear in terms of how it wants to grow, and recognizing that growth may be incremental. It doesn't all happen at the same time, and it may happen in different ways at different times. And as a leader, recognizing that change and transformation is a positive thing, and that very often persons who work with you, your team, may not see it as a positive and may not see it as enabling the expansion of the organization. And therefore, I had to nurture a lot of my team to encourage them to see that this was a wonderful thing as we moved forward. Every step we moved, there had been significant growth, there had been expansion, and there had been reinvention. And the important thing is that as we started as a Center for Management Development, and I came on 4 years after it had begun. And it was a project, it was a mere project. And then it became a limited liability company in that iteration. And then it began to grow. The program portfolio began to expand, and then quite naturally our contacts began to expand. And then we eventually decided to really try to up the game to be more in line with what a business school would do. And then we became the Capefield School of Business. And every time you move to a different iteration, it says that you have to have a new mindset. And you have to ensure that they're shifting the paradigm. And you're not just shifting the paradigm by way of name, but you're shifting the paradigm by way of culture, you're shifting the paradigm by way of what you do, you're shifting the paradigm by way of what your customers are seeing, and you're shifting the paradigm to ensure that there's greater sustainability, and that therefore the organization can say we have grown from one step to another step and will continue to grow. So I would say the whole question of being agile, nimble, and keeping your eyes on the market and ensuring that you're ready at any appropriate time to plan and execute a significant change.